Hey guys, Andy from Andy Goblin Fishing and Central West Virginia Fishing Intel. We'll do a little video on forward-facing sonar. I know it's a really hot debate on the internet right now, on YouTube and everything else that you see. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself first, of who I am and what I've done over the years. I've been in the marine, boating, fishing, tackle business for over 40 years. I'm retired now, so that tells you that I'm fairly old. I'm 63 right now. Started fishing tournaments and fishing hot and heavy when I was like 17 years old. So I've been at this a long time. So I'm just going to give you my take on the forward-facing deal. I've won and cashed checks in tournaments in like 9 or 10 different states. I've caught fish with forward-facing sonar, bass and crappie both, and I've caught fish without it. I've placed in the money in tournaments without forward-facing sonar, crappie-wise, and won tournaments crappie-wise with forward-facing sonar. I've caught fish in bass tournaments on forward-facing sonar and cashed checks, and I've cashed checks without forward-facing sonar. So the whole big debate over it is, whether it's good for tournament fishing or what it's not good for tournament fishing. One thing that I see it being from the business side of it is it is good for tackle companies selling baits. It's good for electronics companies. I'm sitting in a buddy of mine's store right now that sells electronics and fishing baits and works on boats and trolling motors, so it's good for his type of business. I think we're seeing more people fishing because of the forward-facing sonar. I know there's a lot more fish being caught. Whether it hurts the fish population, I'm not real sure of yet. Bass-wise, I don't think it's hurting it as bad as I think it will crappie, mainly because a lot of people take crappie home to eat. So if you have people out fishing every day, taking 15 and 30 fish limits and that type of stuff home, I think we might see a little bit of a decline in some of our crappie, that way. But I'm not real sure. It hasn't been out long enough to see that. So the electronics game is like, I can't say it's good for fishing or bad for fishing. I do know one thing that we're trying to teach the youth is that I really don't agree with is you're looking at guys that's having 4 to 6 units and 7 units on their boats. I think we're sending a bad message with that, with showing these boys or telling these younger kids, the high school and college type fishermen, that the only way we can catch fish is with our electronics. There's other ways to catch them. I don't think we need that much electronics on your boat. I think in the bigger tournaments, trail, like you're talking, like the Elite Tour that Bassmaster has, the MPLFL or MPLF or whatever it is, the MLF, I think is another circuit. The higher circuits of that, I think we kind of need to limit, what the guys are using to find fish with and the fish, to use in those circuits. I don't know what the answer is. They're going to have to come up with an answer for that. The one thing it really does do good is it shows people misconception of fish, that you can find fish and do different stuff. It shows you some how fish will follow a bait, track a bait. It shows you how fast and far fish move. So I think it's kind of good for that. So my opinion is kind of out. Do I think it should be banned for tournament fishing? Not really. Do I think it should be banned from just people fishing? Not really. Do I think that there's ways we can curb some of this stuff with the pricing of equipment that we're using? I think we can do that, because you look at most professions, the major league guys can't use aluminum bats. There's a reason for that. Golfers can't have that many clubs in their bag. There's a reason for that. So I think we need to maybe trim that down a little bit. But other than that, I fished a local crappie tournament this weekend. Over 95% of the boats, I would say, or over 90% of the boats had forward-facing sonar on it. So even in your local type systems, bass wise and crappie wise, you know, the guys have that. And even musky fishing wise around here, you know, guys are utilizing that technology to catch fish with. I think we can't get caught up in just using it as our sole way to find fish. I think we can find fish in other different ways, which are side imaging, down imaging, and 2D sonar, which, you know, I found a lot of fish, you know, my side imaging, down imaging, 2D sonar on the lakes around them here in West Virginia where we're from. Like I say, this is a video, I don't really want to be controversial with it. I think there are some things we could do tournament-wise to maybe even the playing field out a little bit. If you watch some of the podcasts, some of these guys have $40,000 to $60,000 worth of electronics on their boat. I think that's a little bit more than what we need or should have for that type of level of competition. But you know, that's their rules, and they're playing by the rules. So I can't say anything wrong with it as long as you're playing by the rules. Like I say, the crappie population I kind of worry about a little bit, but because crappie, you know, they breed, they spawn, and you have so many of them coming back in the lake. I don't know that it'll be a problem, but I don't think there's enough data out on that for us to tell. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. You know, do I think it should be banned? No. Do I think it should be the only thing we use to catch fish by? No. Do I think there should be a happy medium in the tournament range? Yes, I think we need to do that. Other than that, you know, I think it helps the tackle business. I think it helps the electronics business. It helps these shops that are installing them. So that's my take on it. You can agree or disagree. This is a video I really didn't want to do, but I've had a lot of questions asked in the last year about it. You know, I've had it since it first came out. You know, I had Live Scope, the Garmin Live Scope, the 32 transducer, you know, 3 or 4 months after it first came out. So I've used it ever since. So that's kind of my take on it. Like I say, you can leave a comment and see what you think. I don't want a real big debate about this. I mean, everybody's debating whether you should have it or shouldn't have it, or we should use it in tournaments. My 2 cents worth is, I don't see that much wrong with it, using it in tournaments. I think some of the electronics we're doing is a little bit of overkill with having 3 or 4 live transducers on your boat. I think that's a little bit far out in tournament fishing. I think maybe we should just use one, but that's just my take on it. So let me know what you think. Hope I don't want to stir up too much of a controversy with this. I don't really want to, but that's my kind of take on the forward-facing sonar and electronics deal. So thank you guys very much for watching. Leave a comment if you want to, what you think, and I really appreciate it. So good fishing. Everybody take care now. Thanks.